Backstage, the show where we sit down with local artists and international artists and find out what's going on in their lives and in their careers. On Channel 82, where Bermuda shines through. Hi, and welcome to Backstage. I'm your host, Mr. Magic. In the world of reggae music, we've had local artists that have been on this show, and we can call names off like Buja Banton, the Honorable Robert Nesta Marley, Gregory Isaac, and the list can go on and on. But my guest today, he's a local artist who is vocally trained, and he has a number of hit songs that are out there right now. I want you to welcome to Backstage, Rebel G. How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir.
Pleasure to have you here. Now, let's talk about your music. Have you always been into reggae?
Yeah, from knee-high.
Knee-high?
Yeah.
So who would be an influence in your life? You heard me mention a couple of names, sir. I know Marley would have to be one, of course.
I'm traveled to Jamaica to his grave for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been to 9 Mile myself. It is quite an experience. Did you get to sit on the rock where he wrote Natural Mystic?
Yeah, I sat on the rock grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, because that's actually a beautiful place
actually,
to be.
I'm even been to his grave in St. Anne's Bay.
In St. Anne's Bay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know there in 9 Miles where the family crypt is and things like that. So I'm sure that must have been an experience for you.
Yeah.
So other than Bob himself, who else has influenced you in your style of reggae music?
Well, Dennis Brown.
Okay.
And Barris Hammond.
Right. Now, you heard me mention in the opening that you are vocally trained. How important is that as a reggae artist, as a singer, period?
Very, very important.
What's the benefits?
Benefits of it would be knowing where to carry your notes to, you know. Because most artists are just, I say in the dancehall business, you have to, you could have a artist that is just in 2 octaves. Okay. So basically, it's the range that needs to be. That needs to be brushed up. You need to go voice lessons in order to. If you want a unique sound, you got to go voice lessons. Yeah,
I've had this particular conversation before with other artists, and I'm not a big fan of it. And I'm talking about the auto-tune. I'm not a big fan of it because I want to hear the natural sound that it's supposed to be. Right. Now, I'm not saying, please don't misunderstand me, folks. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I personally am just not a fan of it. And I keep bringing up T-Pain. He's a rapper. Right. I call him the king of the auto-tune because I have heard him sing with and without it. And T-Pain, keep using it. In general, because you're used to that sound. Are you a fan of the auto-tune? Like, would you ever use it? Have you ever used it? Or, what is your take on that particular piece of technology?
Well, the way technology is going, they use it anyway.
Right.
Right? But you want to be able to be a studio artist and a live artist.
There you go. There you go.
So that's the bottom line of vocal training. You want to be live, so you go vocal training. Yeah, because that can be a problem, man. If you're in the studio and you're using this auto-tune and the song sound great, and it really does. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just not a big fan. But you hear the song come out, they're using the auto-tune. It's like wow, and then you get this artist they're coming on stage and they're going to sing that song. If they don't have the auto-tune equipment or equivalent of that on stage with them, I don't want to say it sucks, but the difference in the sound is really far from what people would want to hear. Expecting to hear.
Yeah, so I understand that. So you've traveled to Jamaica. You've been inspired there. Do you write your own music or?
Yeah, I write my own music.
Yeah. How many songs would you say are in your category right now that you have?
Well, since 2009, I'm started. And,
oh, okay.
2008, I'll say I was a DJ. I used to DJ at that time, and one time in the studio, I was recording, and I said to Mr. Steve Easton of Just Platinum, I'm going to sing this song, Steve. And I sung a song, and he just said, look, I'm going to hook you up with a vocalist of at Berkeley Institute, which was Harold Simons. Okay. And from there on, I went vocal training with him, and he used to help me build my original tracks, because I'm an original man. I don't I'm not a book cover.
You don't do cover songs.
I don't do cover songs.
Right.
So I, had Mr. Harold Simons to help me, build around my voice, but it didn't work out. So I got another guy named Mandela Fabla, and he was, pretty good, and he built a rhythm for me, and I started from there.
Okay, all right. So you've had the formal vocal training, and you're writing your own music. What inspires you? Like, okay, if you were to pick one of your favorite songs, rather be past or present, which one would it be?
I'm saying none of them because all of them.
No, okay, then pick. All right, so just pick one song. Not saying your favorite.
Bleeding was one of my favorite
Okay,
songs.
what was your inspiration behind Heart Is Bleeding?
Well, I was hearing him laying down, and if you all don't know, I'm not his vows to step there.
We were getting to that. You didn't have to go.
So,
okay, so he's a football father. We were getting to that.
So his girlfriend, Naki, was away in school, and she came into the bedroom and she said, "Auntie Beth, my heart is bleeding." So I looked at her and I said, "What you mean by that?" And she said, "She misses Naki." So I wrote it down, and a song manifested from that.
Wow.
Which is Heart Is Bleeding.
So let's get this straight. I'm going to take you back just a little bit. Just get off the subject of your music, right. And we're talking about your football son. How is his name actually pronounced?
Naki.
Naki.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm guilty, folks, of making a mistake of mispronouncing his name. You actually called me when I was at a radio station working for radio. You called me one time and said, "Mr. Magic, that's not how his name is pronounced," because I said Naki. Right. Naki, and other people say Nikki, and it's Naki. And you also gave him a nickname.
Knockus.
Knockus.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know you have traveled overseas to watch him play his football. Yeah. And how is he doing out there so far?
He's doing good.
He's doing okay.
Yeah, he's doing very good.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for that. And we want to get that straight.
He's living good.
He's living good. Okay. He's living good. All right. So let's get that straight. Now we'll get back to your music. And again, so you wrote the song "Heart Is Bleeding" based off that one phrase.
Right.
That her heart was bleeding for him. So. Is the song basically about that relationship itself, or that feeling?
Well, that feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, the lyrics that I put in there is what they were doing at that time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So that's what it's based on.
That's what it's based on.
Yeah.
All right. So we will continue this conversation more about Rebel G and his music and more songs that he's written. Folks, I'm telling you, he has a number of songs. I've heard maybe 7 of them, and they're all good. So we'll be back right after this with Rebel G, local radio artist. I'm Mr. Magic. See you in a few minutes.